glassblower can transform a blob of molten glass into a perfect sculpture, an object that's functional and decorative. Blown glass can be on the cutting edge of modern design. Quite a feat for an art that's more than 2,000 years old. The first hollow glass objects date back to 1500 BC. The invention of the blowpipe, around 30 BC, revolutionized the craft. Until then, objects were either carved from solid glass blocks or molded from molten glass. The blowpipe enabled glassmakers to expand and shape glass, and it made fast, inexpensive production possible. This meant that everyday items could now be made of glass. When you see these spectacular shapes and colours, it's hard to believe that blown glass is created from a bland, lumpy mass. This is silica, a material derived from sand, mixed with thinners and stabilizers such as potassium and limestone. The glassblower recycles any leftover colourless glass, then loads the mix into the melting furnace. After 12 hours at fusion temperature, 1200 degrees Celsius, the raw material transforms into a colourless liquid glass. The glassblower uses a blowpipe, a long steel tube with a ring or pear-shaped end, to collect what's called a gather, a glob of this red-hot molten material. To colour the gather, it's quickly rolled in finely ground coloured glass. At this stage, the glass is honey-like in consistency, though it's cooling and thickening by the second. The colour layer is fused by reheating the glass for a few seconds in a smaller furnace called a glory hole. Next, the glass is rolled against a ladle-shaped block to form a starting shape for blowing. A gentle blow or two bulges it into a hollow bubble. By now the cooling glass has thickened to the consistency of caramel, making it more controllable and malleable. The glassblower stretches and shapes the glass with different blocks and hand tools. The glass is like hardened caramel now and holds its final shape. The glass is scored where it meets the blowpipe and is cooled further with compressed air. On the opposite end of the glass, a solid metal manoeuvring rod called a pontil is attached using more hot glass. A single drop of cold water is applied on the score line to crack and break the glass off the blowpipe. Using another pontil, the resulting hole is plugged with hot glass. Then it's back to the melting furnace to attach a gather. It's critical to always rotate the glass so that it doesn't droop and become lopsided. The glassblower shapes this gather not with a block, but by hand. The glassblower protect themselves from the intense heat by using a thick stack of soggy newspapers. Using an ordinary pair of scissors, ridges are formed. The ridges are then twisted to spiral them. The finished design is then cooled and hardened using compressed air. Then it's a quick blast in a glory hole to equalize the temperature throughout the piece. This piece of blown glass has taken just 8 minutes to make. Next, it goes into an electric kiln for a slow 12-hour cool down to prevent cracking. Meanwhile, the glassblower starts a new piece, a large vase. After more blowing and shaping, air is blown in to further expand the glass and thin it out. Then the vase's bottom is cooled with wet newspapers. After reheating the glass to resoften it, it's stretched in order to lengthen the vase. Once the final shape is achieved, a wooden paddle is used to flatten the base. Now for the decoration. Vivid coloured glass coiled like toffee over the entire vase. Certain designs require cutting off a portion of the finished piece. That leaves a rough, opaque edge that must be ground and polished. A lemon squeezer, a vase, even a mortar and pestle. A glassblower's work is remarkable to behold.